Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever Bywire live stream. Forgive us if we make any mistakes. This is the first time we've ever gone live, but we're really excited to bring this live experience to you guys today. So we are announcing today the Bywire Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And we're super excited to share this with you today. Now, we've created a very special video and I'm going to show you this video now. And I hope you like it, and it celebrates what we're trying to achieve.
Imagine you could trust the news.
There is such disagreement about something like the idea of a truth.
I'm around, I interfere a bit too much.
What if it wasn't all just disaster porn designed to scare you to submission?
Despicable. That's how many Downers parents have reacted after police told them that the News of the World intercepted their daughter's phone in the days after she disappeared.
What if it wasn't aimed at keeping the status quo for billionaires who control the press?
There's no other media figure that has had the kind of influence that Rupert Murdoch has had.
There's only one Rupert that we know.
We build the tools, and then the tools build us. This secondary force of evolution we call technology. It will continue until the entire universe is at our fingertips.
What if the culmination of the exponential rise of technology wasn't just an algorithm giving you a polarized fiction, just so that it could optimize its advertising for shareholder value?
How much have you paid for your Facebook account or your YouTube account recently?
Political polarization, misinformation, conspiracy,
You're selling the ability to change your
we're
attention.
seeing a breakdown of shared truth. Customized news is just an oxymoron in and of itself, and yet that's what we've scaled across the globe.
What if billionaires didn't come first? What if instead of wealth creation, news valued facts? What if there was a decentralized, untainted, unbiased source of all independent news in one place, stored securely on blockchain technology where it can't be bought, sold, or influenced by vested interests?
There's a gap that is building in our society, and there's an invention, as you would imagine, that fills that gap. What blockchain is going to change, it's just going to change the way we trust.
What if politicians were accountable, whichever side of the political spectrum they stand?
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
No sexual relationship with this young woman.
There is not a sexual relationship. That is accurate.
When are you and Johnson and Gove going to be held to account for the pack of lies you told? The charge that I distorted British intelligence.
What if there was a thing called truth? What would the news look like then?
That's how we do. I hope you all enjoyed that very cool video. So I'm going to invite Mark Davies onto the live stream now. Mark is the Chief Creative Officer here at Bywire, and he is responsible for that video. And he would like to, well, I'd like to ask him a few questions about that. So let's introduce Mark. Bringing in Mark right now. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted. I've muted you. Let me unmute you. Now let's try that again. How are you, Mark?
I'm good.
Excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to create this video and what this video means?
I mean, for the very sort of genesis of Bywire, you know, what it was all about for us was trying to address the dreadful state of the news. You know, the standard of reporting, the standard of journalism, the understandable distrust that has occurred in the news progressively in a relatively short period of time, particularly the last 5 years. And so what that video is obviously trying to do is just give a bit of an oversight as to how, you know, there's two factors there. There's the billionaire press, you know, press owned by billionaires that doesn't in itself make money for those billionaires, but has a huge value for them in supporting their nefarious interests. And how that, which, you know, to some degree has always been the case, but how that's been gained very much by social media platforms, also owned by billionaires, of course.
Do you think, Mark, sorry to interrupt, do you think the problem has got worse at all? Or you know, is the fact that the problem's
absolutely.
got worse, is that why we've kind of pushed back with
I think it's the second factor that I was talking about. The social media really has, you know, exacerbated the problem massively. So, you know, customized news is entirely what social media delivers, because that's what people, you know, watch more of. You know, if the algorithm doesn't care whether something's true or not, it just cares whether people are going to watch it for long enough. So that whole system is exponentially getting worse, 100%, and it's ended up in a very polarized situation. So that's where that video came from, was sort of just trying to outline kind of that fear and that problem that we were trying to address, and to sort of say how Bywire is, you know, in many ways uniquely positioned to try and address that. First, with the fact that it's very much a platform for all independent news. And by independent, we mean news which isn't owned by billionaires. And secondly, because we have a very unique way of addressing how to deal with the element of trust. Because fact-checking with a room full of monkeys on typewriters is not necessarily the best way of doing fact-checking. And
I think that's right, Mark. Sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking maybe now might be actually quite a good time for me to introduce our Chief Technology Officer, Jetse Sikkemeyer, since we're talking a bit about trust and how we approach, you know, solving trust, or at least, you know, providing our readers with an at-a-glance opportunity to know that something is at least trustworthy. So I'm just going to invite Jetse in. Hopefully this works, and we'll see if he can give us a bit of information about how he created this artificial intelligence trust or not algorithm. Jetse, are you there?
Hello, nice of everyone to join. And so I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Bywire, and I develop much of the algorithms. So one of the problems that we have with fake news and billionaire media is that they are really well designed to play on your emotions. And this is one thing that's difficult with fact checkers, is that you get biased if you have news that is placed on your emotions and on your perception from the beginning. So this is why AI can be actually very helpful as a tool to detect this. So one thing that we do with the AI is actually to, rather than see if something is true or not, to really detect, does it play on the emotions or not? And because this is one of the problems you have with fact checking, that you get biased while you're reading the news.
I also wondered, does the use of artificial intelligence, does that give you as a data scientist the ability to analyze more data? Can you analyze data at scale, say, quicker than you could if it was just humans?
Yes, you can analyze things much more at scale. So a human fact checker can only check like one article in a day, maybe two, while artificial intelligence can scan 100,000 of articles a day. So you are talking about a completely different scale of checking things.
I just wondered, is there, I mean, we hear about bias in AI, right? So there are, of course, inherent biases by, you know, from the creators of the artificial intelligence algorithms. So I wonder, does AI have the ability to understand facts? And if it doesn't, then how else can we use AI to help warn readers if a particular piece of news is designed to be misleading?
Yeah, so I think what is a fact is actually something that is very difficult, because you have like a lot of fake news that contains lots of facts that are true, but some things are misleading, while actually in some excellent work that you think is really true, there might be some things like in mathematics books, there are also errors. So it's really hard to say how many errors and which errors make something fake or not. So I think this is actually checking if something is factual correct or not. It's very useful, but it is only a limited part of the picture. And that's why I think looking at how something is designed to play on your emotions is much more valuable. And that's also something that is much less biased, I think. Of course, you have always the problem of bias in algorithms, but that's why also we try to, our aim is to explain people why we think something is fake or not. So people can decide for themselves if they trust something or not.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so no, that makes a lot of sense, and it's very, very exciting to have you on the show today. So I just want to quickly demonstrate, or just talk a little bit about how the DAO will work. I don't want to go into crazy amounts of details, because it's might not be that exciting for everyone. So let me just try and get my screen on. Hopefully people can see that. So I've put together a very light constitution for the DAO, which will take effect. But ultimately, the DAO is designed to be able to allow members and publishers to control the news. So members will have full control over how the news can be run and how it can be amended and how the network can run as well. And publishers will be able to control their domain, so they can decide if other publishers should be censored or should not be censored. They can decide what type of remuneration is relevant for them. They basically will eventually have full control of how things will work. So I'm just very, very briefly going to show you a little bit about the Constitution. So the way I approached it, each part of the Constitution is an article, and each article may be amended and resolutions may be passed. And the idea is that way they can grow and evolve. And we're hoping that the members of the community can help us grow and evolve this. So we've put together a basic foundation, and we hope that as a collective we can grow together. So there'll be 4 key DAO institutions: the Governance Council, the Publishers Council, Members Council, and the Treasury MSIG. The Governance Council will supersede all other councils. The Members Council is open to any DAO member who wishes to become a member council delegate, and the Publishers Council is, as you would imagine, just for publishers. The second article is the Governance Council shall, through a majority vote, determine DAO policy and recommendations, regularly presenting these to the Treasury and to the Bywire board. So what that means is the governance is the council that is final. They will make all the final decisions, and once they put a recommendation through to Bywire, Bywire would need a very compelling reason to not push forward with that recommendation. The Members' Council shall, through a majority vote, define a consensus of their will, determining and offering recommendations to the Governance Council. So this is really the crux of how the DAO will work. Every member will be able to create a referendum, and the referendums are how we will invoke change on the network. So you place a referendum, and then the members can vote on that referendum. The Members' Council itself will define and decide which referendums are passed and which referendums are sent to the Governance Council. Once a referendum is been approved and sent to the Governance Council, kind of like the Senate or the House of Lords, would then overview that to make sure that that's working and that is what we, to make sure that that policy is not detrimental to the network and to the company, and to make sure it's legal, which is obviously quite an important element. The Publishers' Council shall, through a majority vote, define a consensus of their will, determining and offering recommendations to the Governance Council. So similar to the members, the publishers will define their consensus, and they'll send that through to the governance, who will oversee it. The Treasury shall operate as an EOS account, requiring 2 MSIG approvals from Bywire board members and 1 approval from either the member or publisher head delegates. So the Members Council will have a head delegate, and the Publishers Council will have a head delegate, and the head delegate will be the highest ranked delegate in each one of those councils. Additionally, voting is typically carried out by a new type of mechanism. This is the dynamic delegate election, DDE. Members may amend their vote and vote ranking at any time for any other valid candidates. So the idea is here we want as much democracy as possible. People can vote for any candidate at any time, and you can change your votes at any time. So that's pretty cool. Additionally, there will be fixed dated general elections, should there need to be, and this will be enacted should the DDE become unoperable, in the sense that if we're changing our candidates too often, then we can have the flexibility to have a general election with fixed term lengths. Finally, DAO members of all types shall be deemed as unpaid volunteers who wish to seek a coherent consensus in order to make informed recommendations to Bywire Limited. So upon our launch, all delegates, all council members, everyone in the DAO will just be considered as a unpaid volunteer. This is to protect against any form of DAO liability, which I know some people were concerned about. So long term, this will evolve into a DAC or a DAO, and a legal entity will be created. We're in the process of doing that now, but until that time, there will be no legal liability for any of the delegates, which I think is obviously very important. And then finally, the Constitution may be clarified or expanded through the use of supportive resolutions added to each article and through the construct of new constitutional articles. So the whole point of this document is that it's dynamic and that it will grow and become better through the iterative process from the community. So I'm now going to show you our platform. So we have created a platform and we have launched it just prior to this live stream. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, so I'm praying that it works. So fingers crossed that it does. So hopefully you guys can see this now. So this is the Bywire DAO platform. You can go to it now live, bywiredao.com, and that should work without any issues. Sorry, just having some water. I'm going to just run you through how we start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Anchor wallet on my phone, and I should be able to log in. So let's start. So first of all, we click on the Anchor ID as you would on any DApp, and I'm just going to log in the traditional way. In fact, I have to change my account because I've been testing it before. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so you should be able to see, if I show the right screen, that we're just connecting into via my phone with the wallet. So I'm just going to log in. So you log in for the first time, and then it will take you to the sign up account. So it should be nice and simple. We just put our email address in here. Go with one of these. Let's put my full name in. And then, of course, we have to agree to our terms and service. So when you press join now, this will send an email verification, which has gone to my email. So rather than expose my private emails, I'll come back to myself. So now you obviously have to confirm your email very quickly, and then you'll be able to log back in. In true testing form. It's going to take a second for it to arrive. Okay, I've got it on my phone. Now if you can see that, there's the verify. Verify my email. Okay, so now that says that we've been successfully validated, so we should be good to go. This will automatically log you out of the website, and you'll have to log back in with your nice new account. So we'll do that now. Hopefully that should work. Almost there. Okay. This should now hopefully work, and we should be logged in. Yes, so this is a brand new DAO account. And you can see we've got the 6 first member council candidates ready to be voted on. Now, this is not official voting yet. We're still in beta. This is test mode. So this is just an opportunity for everyone to test the app and see how it works. So the member council, each member has 3 votes, and you will rank your votes. If you voted for someone, they will be dimmed out. So let's just take all the votes off. And then we can vote from the start. So nice clean voting out. We're going to vote for Brittany, vote, Chris, vote, and Jeremy, vote. Now we have our 3 selections. Now we want to confirm our vote. So we press continue. This is where we select our preferences. So the one you want the most goes to number 1 and then descends as you would expect. And then we confirm our votes. Now this is going to push to the blockchain. So I have to open Anchor again. As you would expect, we've got our, oops, you can't see that, sorry. As you would expect, we've got a sign request here, so I'll just sign that. And da-da. Now, that should be working wonderfully. So now we've recorded the votes of the 3 delegates we want. Now, that should also be recorded on the chain as well. So if we just double check, michaelos.gm. Hopefully they'll be here, and voila, we can see that our votes have been recorded on chain. The way it's going to work is members will be able to vote on any referendum, create their own referendums, and have full reign really on how this DAO works. Obviously, it's still in its infancy and it's still in beta mode. So we hope it'll all come and help us test it and try it out. And if you're interested in becoming a members council delegate, then simply click on the delegate section and you'll get some information here explaining how it works, and you can just say, yes, I'm interested in becoming a delegate. This will log your candidacy on chain. Everything we do is on chain. This is, after all, a DAO. So it's important to record things on chain, not on paper. So once you've approved, once you've said, yes, I want to be a candidate again, you have to log back in because your user status has changed. Now we've logged back in. Oh dear, we've run into our first bug. Of course we've run into a bug while going live. It's always the way. Let's try again. Aha, okay. So we are logged in, and hopefully our candidacy should be returned. It's always the way, isn't it? Okay, so we have a 404. I'm going to shout at the dev team later. But I promise you, it generally does work. We've tested it relentlessly, and we put some changes just before we went live. And of course, there was a few bugs and stuff. But basically, yeah, you can come in, you can vote, and everyone who creates an account today, go and do that right now. Bywiredao.com. Bywiredao.com. Go on there, create your account. And let us know if it works for you, if you get any errors. And everyone who creates an account will receive a special unique NFT. That is a unique NFT for the first Genesis members. So please sign up right now to qualify for the NFT. So the opportunities are, everyone who's put their EOS account in the chat, you will receive tokens and you will receive an NFT, but everyone who signs up will receive a unique NFT, and that will be a Jeff versus the Metaverse NFT. So I really do hope you're signed up and be part of this DAO, because ultimately we need the community to come on board and to help us make news better. And any member will be able to create a referendum on any elements and be able to control and improve how the network works, because without you guys we can't do this. And I think it's finally time to have real human beings controlling the news rather than distant billionaires and vested interests. So join us, become part of the change that you want to see, and let's build a better world. So thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been really, really great. I've enjoyed going live a lot, and we'll definitely do this again. So I'm going to end on our video. Thank you very much. In fact, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them into the chat now, and I can answer those. There is a couple of questions. So I can put the link into the chat. That's not difficult. There we go. Bywire.com. There you go. Dario asks, how can I upload a profile picture? Right now, your profile picture is drawn, I believe, from your EOS account, but you will be able to change your profile picture to something you want in the next couple of days. So the ability to edit your profile, which is a basic feature, will be introduced over the coming days. Just to give you guys some context, we began work on this technically and conceptually really about 10 days ago. And we started coding this, or we had our first meeting with the dev team 7 days ago exactly. So we've done all of this in 7 days. So it isn't perfect, but we feel like it's a really good MVP. It's a really good outcome for the 7 days we've had. And I can't wait to see where we're going to be in 7 days' time now. So we've had another question. So Gav asks, what's the long-term vision for what the DAO can become? Well, that's a great question, Gav. And the long-term vision is that the DAO needs to become self-sufficient. So no individual, no one corporation should be in charge of the news. The news should be owned and run by the people. So the biggest ambition we have with the DAO is twofold, really. One, a real people's controlled news organization free from the vested interests and the corruption that comes with it. But two, through the use of our technology, we want to have news that people can actually trust. You should be able to look at a news article and be able to know that you can trust, or you can likely trust, the content of this. Today, too much news and too much information has been weaponized, and it's been used to further the aims of those who have excess capital. And there is nothing more important to a democracy than a free and well-informed electorate. And we don't have that today. And that's why in the US and in the UK, democracy is frailing. Damages are happening. We all can see that in real time. Democracy has been gamed. So we hope, if this is a third bonus thing, if we can return truth, trust and accountability to news and content generation, we can defend our shared language and shared communications, then maybe we can safeguard or even improve democracy. So that's kind of our longer term aim. So Dario says, works smooth for me. Congrats. Excellent. I'm really, really delighted to hear that. So I'm going to wrap this up now, unless there's any other questions. Thank you all for coming. Please, bywiredao.com, create your account, and you'll start receiving your NFT and token rewards this evening. We did want to automate it, but we didn't have time to do that. So we will be sending those later today. Thank you all so much. I'm going to end the stream on our video that we created, and I look forward to see you again in the future. Thank you all very much.
Imagine you could trust the news.
There is such disagreement about something like the idea of a truth.
If I'm around, I interfere a bit too much.
What if it wasn't all just disaster porn designed to scare you into submission?
Despicable. That's how many Downers parents have reacted after police told them that the news of the world intercepted their daughter's phone in the days after she disappeared.
What if it wasn't aimed at keeping the status quo for billionaires who control the press?
There's no other media figure that has had the kind of influence that Rupert Murdoch has had.
There's only one Rupert that we know.
We build the tools, and then the tools build us. This secondary force of evolution we call technology. It will continue until the entire universe is at our fingertips.
What if the culmination of the exponential rise of technology wasn't just an algorithm giving you a polarized fiction, just so that it could optimize its advertising for shareholder value?
How much have you paid for your Facebook account or your YouTube account recently?
With political polarization, misinformation, conspiracy,
You're selling the ability to change your
we're
attention.
seeing a breakdown of shared truth. Customized news is just an oxymoron in and of itself, and yet that's what we've scaled across the globe.
What if billionaires didn't come first? What if instead of wealth creation, news valued facts? What if there was a decentralized, untainted, unbiased source of all independent news in one place, stored securely on blockchain technology where it can't be bought, sold, or influenced by vested interests?
There's a gap that is building in our society, and there's an invention, as you would imagine, that fills that gap. What blockchain is going to change, it's going to change the way we trust.
What if politicians were accountable, whichever side of the political spectrum they stand?
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
No sexual relationship with this young woman.
There is not a sexual relationship. That is accurate.
When you, Johnson and Gove, going to be held to account for the pack of lies you told, the charge that I distorted British intelligence.
What if there was a thing called truth? What would the news look like then?